I'm here 30 minutes before the flight.
Can you please leave, sir?
No.
Can you please leave my personal space?
I'm decided that you ain't gonna let me check in.
Make me check you in.
You literally work for a company that I bought a plane ticket for. Check in.
And you're not getting on your flight.
These two got fired. The caption on this post, this video reads, he showed up 30 minutes before his flight, and these Frontier airline employees refused to check him in because he didn't agree with the $25 agent assist fee to check in, even though he said he would pay it. And so he said he would pay it, but he said that he didn't agree. They caught an attitude. This is, if you guys have been online, a few of you have probably seen this, right? But there's something worth talking about right here. Let's keep listening.
Made that flight, you did, and you think you're gonna check me in? I bet you we won't. Okay?
I paid for a ticket.
And you
Yeah, I paid for a
$25
ticket.
agent assist fee, and you check in 3 hours later. Hello.
I just said that I.
Get on your flight.
I just said that I would pay the
And you thought you were gonna
$25.
get on your flight. And you
Pulling your phone out, being loud and very wrong, as somebody who's supposed to be servicing a customer, is just crazy.
I literally paid for a ticket. I'm here 30 minutes. I'm here 30 minutes before my flight, and they're not letting me check. You were about to let me check in. You were about to let me check in, and you just not in your personal space. This is not your personal space. This is not your personal space. You work for a company. This is not your personal space.
We ain't gotta worry about it. We ain't gotta worry.
You do, because you got fired. There's a lack of understanding when you are employed by a company. And this is kind of the problem with like business and not understanding the role you have to play when you're working for a company, right? The customer is always right. You assume more responsibility. Even when you're wrong, you take on responsibility. Even when they're wrong, you take on responsibility. I know.
No, I'll have a tea actually.
Too much coffee.
You don't have to worry about it. You're literally not doing your job for a customer that has paid for a plane ticket to get home. I'm literally here at Frontier. I bought a ticket and they are not letting me check in for no reason whatsoever. I've already bought a ticket.
Dude right there chiming in as well. I don't know if anything happened to him, right? But, you know, he's not recording and escalating the situation.
I've literally already bought a ticket, and this is your reaction.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Listen, this whole crew, if it was me, would be reprimanded. They would face some type of consequences. So let's focus on these two right here, right? These two women. And the reason why I want to do this is because I don't think people realize how this is detrimental to their own image when they do stuff like this. This is going to be online forever. And it feeds into a certain stereotype. And at this point, you can't get called out because here you have a statue, this massive 12-foot statue, bronze statue of a black woman, hands on her waist. We just talked about this. She's fed up and it's feeding the same stereotype. And so why would you want to continue representing yourself in this way? I even had a conversation, this is like a week ago, where my wife was talking about the attitudes of other fellow black women, and she was at a Starbucks or something like that. And then I saw this video. We're going to continue with that. But I saw this video by this woman who says, I'm so tired of black women's attitude. And I sent this to her. And I'm seeing more black women speaking on this particular topic. And the crazy thing now is you can't say you guys are just calling out something that doesn't exist when now there's a literal statue to represent everything you see.
I'm so tired of black women and their attitudes and us just having to overlook it and ignore it and just act like it's commonplace. It's not. It doesn't make any sense for you to wake up every morning and just be pissed off at the world, at people you don't even know. I'm not saying every black woman has an attitude, but right. I am saying if you meet a woman out in the world and you don't know her, never said anything to her, never seen her a day in your life, and she has an attitude, it's going to be a black woman that does that. I'm not talking about Karens. Karens have interacted with someone and they feel like they've been wronged. Whether they really have or not is beside the point. Right. A black woman could be a cashier at Target and you walk up and she got an attitude. You just put your stuff on the conveyor belt and she got an attitude.
Guys, again, I'm noticing more black women speaking out about this. And she's right. It's not every black woman because you know the all people will come in and say they suffer from the same delusion of like all women are like this. There's no good women whatsoever, and you're sitting there thinking that you are a good person, unless if you can agree that all men are like that as well, right? The main issue here is that there's a significant portion of women, if they're not out here acting this way, they're actually thinking to themselves, there's nothing wrong with acting this way. I mean, obviously, the women who I keep in my life, and I don't put up with the like crazy attitudes from anybody, but obviously, my wife and the women in my family, like I don't deal with this. But when I go out, I have experienced this, and you know, you have to some extent. Anyways, just keep listening.
So that's not the same as a Karen. I'm talking about an unsolicited, unwarranted, unjustified attitude is gonna come from a black woman. Not all black women, but if you get it, she gonna be black. I pretty much guarantee that. What y'all so angry about? What are you so mad about? What are you so ready to fight about? Then y'all say it's hard being a black woman. Well, in case you haven't noticed, I'm a black woman too. And no, it's not hard. Not just being a black woman, existing as a black woman is not hard.
Uh-oh.
But y'all meeting the world with anger and animosity.
Uh-oh.
Maybe that's why you getting that back. Maybe that's why you feel like the world is beating you up. I meet the world with kindness and smiles and grace. And you know what I get back? Just that. I'm so sick of y'all attitudes. And it's usually when I'm the customer and you are representing the company, you're working. It ain't my business to set a friendly tone here, but I'll do it. I'll do it. But can you at least meet me? If it was left up to me, y'all just wouldn't have no husband or no job.
Damn. Wouldn't have nor husband or nor job, she said. Serving straight shot. Yeah, I agree with everything she said. And you know, if you are a black woman, like, and you do reflect that positivity and you smile, because there's plenty of women out here who say, I don't think I owe anybody a smile. If you do that, you just stand out so much more. Let's read a few comments here. Top comment says, yeah, a lot of people really need to heal. People carrying around their own past trauma or learned trauma from someone else. I think learned trauma from someone else seems more likely when it comes to what we see. Because online, what you see is that you have a lot of women who aren't even experiencing the things that they are complaining about on a regular basis. They're not experiencing these things. They are being motivated by all these agendas, one of them being the statues and this right here, and telling you who you should be angry at, why you should be upset, why you waking up just mad. Somebody else, she says, the crazy thing, I used to walk around and think this was cute, to be the angry black woman. Like I had to live up to that. It was exhausting. I wore it to the point I didn't realize it anymore. So glad for growth, she says. That attitude literally gets you nowhere. It was a protection shield of insecurities for me. Fix it, Jesus. It's played out. Right. Let me see, what else do we have here? Let's see, maybe we can read a few more comments. That's when I ask, having a bad day? Here's somebody else who says, you get back what you put in. That color looks good on you. So the next thing that was announced after, you know what, first off, let's read a few comments in response to this video as well. A few people here said, they ghetto as hell. It's not debatable. See, people probably defended that. Here's another person who says, well, this is why you check company policies. It says check-in closes 60 minutes before departure time. So who's in the wrong? You see, I have to accept, and you also have to accept this, right? That there are people who sit here and they have no idea. Like when you're running a business, the customer is almost always right. You want to make sure you make exceptions as much as possible. And if you're going to turn someone down, even when they're having a bad day, if you want a successful company, and this is part of the problem, right? Is if you live in this world where I should be able to act how I want and do whatever I want, you just are not going to succeed when it comes to business and it comes to excelling in your career, so on and so forth, because you're competing with people who don't let their emotions take over. They're going to sit there and, you know, at Chick-fil-A or at Starbucks, all these companies that get called exceptional for their customer service, they deal with people with bad attitudes who are most likely in the wrong many times. And they sit there and they have policies also set up to say, hey, always de-escalate. Hey, figure out a way you could make things better so you could keep that line going. You know, we don't want to escalate the situation. but like you have people that think like this. Company policy. And the only thing they're seeing here is an opportunity to use race. Somebody else here said this is true, but their reaction and professionalism is an embarrassment to the establishment. They should be disciplined. And they were. Somebody else who says if you don't have a mobile boarding pass, no gate agent on any airline will be able to print you a boarding pass past a certain point. I've experienced this. I've sat and watched my plane leave on a flight I purchased a seat on. And somebody else here added, but the way they carrying it is crazy. Just tell him he's late and tell him the policy. Again, even if he's in the wrong, the pulling out of the phones, the reaction, and it's just too much. It's just too much. And the problem with this is you can either argue this to the death and think the whole world is going to eventually just operate this way, or you can learn and remain stoic and understand that microaggressions and all these things that they teach you on TikTok, they don't fare well in reality, in real life. Or you can get fired, which is what just happened. Update, both Frontier agents have reportedly been fired for mocking passenger. Let's read a few responses. This person's here says, good, got to learn to be more professional. Somebody else here says they need to be more selective of their hires. Wow. Okay. People here actually responding back. As a business owner, customer service is key to success. There is a better way of handling this situation. I would have definitely fired them on the spot. I think we're seeing a lot of people here who are, okay, great. Yeah. What do you guys think? Of course, I'm curious to know. Leave your comments down below. Listen, gentlemen, if you're currently engaged or soon to be married and need a prenup, but don't know where to start, your first step is fathershaverights.com. This guide helps you get ready before you hire your lawyer. And I really want to emphasize the importance of you just having a resource that you can tap to at any point in your life when you're ready. And right now you can get the complete guide at 25% off. Appreciate you guys. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.